Welcome to Wood Chip Woodworking. Today we're going to do something pretty interesting. We're going to do a frame for a photo that my wife had done at a craft show this past summer of nutmeg. Anyway, feel free to share, subscribe, like. My name is Paul Courtwright, and let's get started on our photo. So here is my nutmeg photo. It's a characterization of our dog Nutmeg, and I thought I would frame it for my wife for Christmas. So let's get started on that and see what we got. So, like I said, here's the frame. Here's the picture for Nutmeg. I'm going to make a frame for it, and I got a piece of oak here that I'm going to clean up and make pieces out of that. Thought it would be kind of interesting to do. So let's get started on that. It's just a piece of oak here. We're going to do that, and let's get over to the table saw and get our pieces cut out. All right, so here we are. I figured out that I'm going to need 1 1/4 inch wide strips to do this. So I'm going to cut off 4 strips at 1 1/4 inch wide. And we'll get them cut and done here. All right, so here we go. Let's cut this up. Number 1. Three. And our last one here. All right, that's pretty good. That's all the scrap we have out of that piece, which is a good thing. Alrighty, so we got our 4 pieces cut. Let's go back over to the bench and figure out what we got. Alright, so our overall length of our picture is 14 inches. So I want a 1/2 inch overhang. So if it's 14 inches, I want to go 15. So we want to cut 2 pieces at 15 inches. So I'm looking this over and figure out the best we got for it. All right, let's go square this up at the miter saw and cut 2 pieces at 15 inches. Okay, we're going to take off just a little bit on the end here. All right, 15 inches. Give us a 1/2 inch overhang on both sides. Should be good for the picture. There's one. And take just a hair off the end, square it up. 15 inches. All right. Takes care of that one. Now, measure our picture again and see what we got. Okay, it's 11 inches wide, so we want a 12-inch piece. And this has got a piece on the end of it, and don't think this is going to quite work. It would be right there perfect for it. Let's go with it. Same thing on that one. Nope. So let's just cut two new ones. Let's go back over to the saw and cut the end of this off, square it up. All right. 12 inches. All righty. Okay. Let's go back over to the bench here and let's see what we got here. Okay, so we got our picture here. There's our two side pieces. Alrighty. Okay. So what I'm thinking about doing is, because if I lay that up there like that, it's too big. And if I do this, put the pieces like this, I think it ends up being the right size, but only too long. What I'm thinking of doing is cutting 45s on these and doing it that way. I think it will. So let's set the saw up for a 45 and cut our pieces here at a 45. So I want cut them at 45. So what I did was I marked the 45 on the direction I want to go. Put that like that. And I want to go just right on there. All right. And I've done the same thing on this one. So I want to cut this one at 45. let's see what we got. See if that makes sense. Let's see how square we are. Let's get a square and see if we are on the money. Look at that. It's pretty good. So that's one. So I'm going to cut a 45 on this end down here. And let's do that. Same thing. Move my saw. Sorry if I keep moving you around like this. But once I get this one cut, I'll just do it. All right, let's go see where we're at. Okay, so there's that one. I know that's right there. So I'm going to put A to A. And this would be B. Okay. Thought I'm missing one. This one's got a hole in it, and I really don't want to use one with a hole. I'm going to go cut this off here and straighten that up. So hang tight. So I've got this one cut, and I'll go ahead and I will cut my 45s on this so that we get that in place, and then we'll be right back. All right, so I got my pieces cut out here. That's the frame. Now what I want to do is do a inlay on the back, and we need to put a piece of ply or paneling or masonite on the back. So hang tight and I'll grab my masonite. All right, so I got my piece of masonite, and it's 14 by 11, same size as my picture. So what I need to do now is cut a groove along this side to fit this in the picture. So this masonite is how thick? It's like an 1/8 inch thick. It is an 1/8 inch thick. Okay, so I want to go and cut me a piece. Cut my grooves in here, an 1/8 inch. So cut them on this edge. So I'm going to cut me a groove on this side here, all the way around. Just kind of marking them so I know where I'm cutting. Okay, let's go over to the table saw and set this up. All right. All right, so I'm going to make it down to there. So I'm going to just the teeth that go through, but right there. Okay. And then I take my piece. I'm going to cut it on this edge here. So I want to cut it like this. So hang on a minute, I gotta go get a measurement. So what I had to do was figure out how far in I need to cut my groove here, and it's 1 inch in, and my piece is 1 1/4 inches. So for some reason that don't seem right. Hang on, let me recheck that. Well, I'm glad I rechecked that because it's 3/4 inch in, not an inch. Just didn't seem right. So I'm going to set my saw blade at 3/4 inch. Okay. Got all our pieces here. Make sure we cut on the right side. Got them stacked exactly like I want them. Put down like that. And it's going to be a challenge. I have a push stick here. Keep my fingers out of the way. Yeah, we can do that. All right. So I want to make sure we keep it up against the fence. We're going to rip one piece down through there. And let's go for it. Okay, so that's our groove right there. Now what I want to do is set the saw blade up to cut this way. So we look at it, and it's got to be 3/4 of an inch in. Or is it? How far in do we have to go? We have, let's see what we're measuring here. We got 1/2 inch. So I want a 1/2 inch in from the blade. Half inch in. Right there. And then what we want to do is raise it up so it's the height of that, which is 3/8 of an inch. So I got a 3/8 block here. I got this Carter measuring block here. And as you can see, it's 3/8 of an inch. So I lay this on my saw and I raise my blade up to that. Right there. These are great for the bandsaw, mind you. All right, and now we make sure we push it through in the right direction. Okay. And we're not set right. Oh, duh. We're going to go through this way. I want to make sure we're right. Yes. Okay. So here we go. Push sticks, and we're ready. I'm pushing up against the fence and pushing straight in. Taking my time, letting the blade cut. And there's our piece right there. Now let's check to make sure she fits perfectly. So I got my Masonite here, and look at that. Beautiful fit. That's what we want. All right, let's cut the rest of them. Make sure we get them right. All right. Just going to double check everything as I go. Okay. Alrighty, let's go back over to the bandsaw or the table saw, and let's go over to the workbench and see what we got. All right, so let's look at what we got here. Put a picture out of the way so it don't get messed up. We'll just use the back. Okay, let's see what we got here. That piece there, that piece there, that piece there. This should fit right in there. And no, it don't fit. Okay, so we need to cut some more out of that. Okay, so we need to come up just a little bit more. So, how much more do we need to cut up? This is why you got to try it and see what you get. Tape measure. Okay, so we have about a 1/2 inch. So let's make sure our picture and our piece fit the same. Yes, that's the same. Okay, so I got to come up a 1/4 inch on both sides. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. So let's cut these up 1/4 inch. So come back over here and we'll recut it. So we just got to come up 1/4 inch into this. So right now we are at 3/8, I believe. And we're up a 1/2 inch. Okay, so let me go back and remeasure that and make positive before I cut it. All right, so I got to come up 3/8 of an inch on this. So I am going to mark on here up 3/8 of an inch, which should be 1, 2, 3. Let's put it out here at the end. All right. So I want to come up 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to move my fence over just a hair. Set my blade first. And then I'll move my fence back over. Right there. All right, now I'll put this back here where it was. Seems like an awful lot. So we're going to recheck it. Hang on. All right. So we're going to go down just a hair. You can always take more off. That's one of the things about woodworking is you always double check your measurements. Something don't feel right. You don't do it. Okay, I'm going to recheck here and see what we got. Let's do this one. Put this one as well. Gotta come up just a hair more. All right, so I gotta come up just a hair more on it. I'll do the other two sides. Okay. And now we'll take and cut that lip off of there. Okay, so we're going to cut that lip off. And let's measure that. Put a mark in there where I got to go. Okay. This is what makes it fun with woodworking is you just kind of go with it and solve the problem as you go. Okay, looks about right. And now we want to drop our blade down. This. Okay. Make sure we're right. Yep. All right, let's cut this one and see where we're at. And if you make a mistake, you start over. No big deal. Okay. All right, let's go back over to the bench and see what we got. All right, now we got back to the table saw here. Let's see if our pieces fit like they're supposed to. Not quite there. So I gotta take just a smidgen off. Take a smidgen off this one and this one. So let's go back over to saw and we'll touch that up. All right, so and your people are probably going to wonder why I made so many cuts on this. And all the time that I've been woodworking, Look at that. I would rather make 6 cuts, small cuts, to get it to work perfectly than I would to just say, oh, I'm going to make one more. I'll go a little bit more. See, because now look at that. It fits perfectly in there. So that's what we need. Now, the trick of this is going to be gluing this up. So what we're going to do is I've got these clamps that are made for picture frames, and I will get them out. It's a band that goes around it, glue it in place, and then we'll get it, and then I'm going to cut a spline on the end of this, both sides all the way around, to put a spline in there. So let me grab the clamps and we'll get gluing. Well, I just had a thought. I cleaned these up a little bit here, and I think I might just put a little bit of a groove and saw kerf in all 4 of these, just to give it a little bit of character. So let's go over to the saw and let's do that real quick. So basically, I got the saw blade up about 1/16 of an inch, and I'm going to run these through on this edge right here, and just going to put a small little mark on there as a decoration. So let's see what we get when we come out of it. Here we go. Not bad. I like it so far, so let's do it. Run that one back through one more time. Run that one back through again too. All right. So the reason I reran them 2 back through is because it didn't come all the way through. So let's go back to the bench and let's get her glued up. All right, here we go. So we're going to lay this out. We're gluing end grain. So in the process of doing end grain, we want to put our pieces in there, put some glue on it, let it set for a minute, and then we'll put our clamps around it and go for it. So let's glue it up. All right, so I'm going to tip them up like this, put a little bit of glue on it. Since we're doing end grain, I'm going to put it on all 4 sides, or all 8 sides. Now rub it in, let it set for a second. All right, let's let that set for a minute and I'll be right back. All right, I thought my wife was home And since this is her Christmas present, I really didn't want her walking in on me. So I just went and checked. I know this don't sound like much, but what do you get? A woman that's got everything. She's got me. You know, gotta be creative. All right, so add a little bit of glue to it. Put that in there like so. And the way this clamp works is these little pieces go into the corners. Got one under each corner. And then the clamp itself is a strap that basically goes around the whole thing. So this around here like so, and it puts pressure on it, uniform pressure on it all the way around. We'll put a square in there to make sure she's nice and square, and then we'll just let her dry. And now basically I'll sand it and put a little finish on it. So unfortunately you probably won't see that part of it. But nobody likes to see somebody sand. So I won't bore you with them details. This is a project that I've kind of been wanting to do for a while. Okay, so now we got that in there like that, and now I want to just check and see how square we are. Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. All right. Got enough pressure on it to hold it. Just a little bit more. There. And there's our picture frame. I think it looks pretty good. I'll do some sanding on it, cleaning it up, and we'll be in good shape. So I'm going to let that dry. And when that dries, then we'll come back and I'll do some sanding, clean it up, and just put the thing in it. So I'm going to put a coat of, I might put a little bit of stain on it. I don't know. Real light stain. So hopefully you like that. We'll let this dry and go from here, but I think it looks pretty good. So that's my picture frame for Miss Nutmeg. So we will see you on the next one. Hopefully you like this video. It's rather interesting. Like I said, when I do stuff like this and I want it precise, I always take and make several cuts. I don't just measure something and cut it once. You know, the old adage, measure twice, cut once. Or yeah, measure twice, cut once. So as you can see, I was measuring and finagling and trying to get everything to work right. And I think it worked. So anyway, I think it's going to look pretty good once it's done. Like I said, I will take and put a little stain on it. Actually, I might not even stain it because I like the burnt part that's already in it, the stain that's already deep down in. So I might just leave it as is and put a coat of polyurethane on it. We'll see when it's dry. We'll go from there. All right. That being said, hope you like this video. Feel free to share, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share the video with other people, and let's get this channel to grow. And we'll see what happens on the next one. I'm going to set this over here to dry. And, you know, The old saying, don't forget to make a man litter. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye.